In this video, we will look at managing queues from the admin portal of Engage. Queues are functions that direct your customers to the right team and can offer them things like comfort messages, music, and dequeuing while waiting for an agent. Queues are generally accessed after a customer selects from a voice menu, accesses chat on your website, or the email address they sent a message to. They will stay in line waiting for the next available agent who can then provide them assistance. Whether it is an inbound voice, email, or chat queue, all queues are essentially the same when it comes to configuration. To find your queues, navigate to Configure, General, and Queues. Across the top of the page, you will find options to manage queue groups, manage alerts, and manage SMS. Additionally, there is an Update button that you will always want to use when making any changes in the admin portal. Underneath, you will find a list of all queues, what type of queues they are, the priority assigned to the queue, acceptable waiting time, maximum waiting time, an active schedule if one is assigned to queue, and an options link. Clicking Manage Queue Groups will take you to another page where you can set multiple queues into a singular queue group. To create a new group, click Add, and a new group will appear. Rename the group, give it a description, and click OK. Select all queues to be part of the group by checking the appropriate boxes and selecting Update. The benefit of queue groups is that it allows you to gather reporting from a collection of queues and not just each queue individually. By selecting Manage Alerts, you can set notifications or alerts that will let selected personnel know when certain parameters are met within a queue. Choose your queue, set an alert level, and select an alert type. For the billing queue, for instance, we could make an alert level 2, medium, when there is a high wait time. For the conditions, we can enable this alert and set it to check and send an alert every 5 minutes. The recipients will be the email of any recipients or distribution list you would like. Multiple entries would need to be separated by a comma. Enter comments for the alert such as, there is a high wait time in the billing queue, and set a schedule for the time period that you would like these alerts to be active. This would most likely match your working hours schedule unless you had some special needs. As a reminder, always remember to use the Update button. The Manage SMS tab will take you to a page allowing you to see all numbers that you have on the account associated with SMS. If you have a lot of numbers, you can use the Find box at the top of the page to narrow your search results. Clicking Edit to the right of a number will open the options for that number. Details on SMS will be covered in a separate module. The name of the queue will let you know what queue the settings to the right are referring to. If you hover your mouse over the queue name, you will get a pop letting you know what the queue ID is. The queue ID can be helpful when referencing the queue to support and when you need the email address for the queue. Queue's email addresses are queue and the queue ID at ivr.sys. Type will either be voice in, voice out, email, or chat. Priority is the priority set for the queue when there are multiple interactions coming into multiple queues. For example, if an agent is in 2 queues, they will receive an interaction for a queue priority 2 before they are routed to a queue priority 6. If both queues are the same, the system will follow the order they arrived. Acceptable waiting time is the amount of time that a person will be waiting in queue before the queue changes to red for those persons monitoring that queue. Maximum waiting time is the time set for reporting and monitoring purposes before the interaction shows in the maximum wait time field. If you see an entry under Active Schedule, this means that a schedule has been assigned to the queue itself. This generally will only occur when a queue has hours of operation that differ from that of the company. For example, the majority of a company may close at 5:30 p.m. on the weekdays, yet the support queue is available until 10. Inbound Voice. Finally, the Options menu. Clicking on Options for an inbound voice queue will open a new menu where you can see a variety of additional settings for queues. Allow dequeuing. If the IVR is set up with a dequeuing option, you can choose to turn that on or off from here. If there is no set path for dequeuing in the IVR, then turning this on will do nothing, and there is no path to execute. Active Bulletin. Active Bulletin allows the admin to select an active bulletin for this queue as opposed to activating the bulletin from the Bulletins page. Be aware that from here you can only choose to activate the bulletin and not set the path that the bulletin will follow, as can be done from the Bulletins page. Mailbox. Enter or change the mailbox that will receive voicemails from this queue. Calling name. Options to set the outbound caller ID for both transfers and callbacks. The options are default, queue name, and DNS label. Be careful when using queue names for queues that will be performing callbacks, as the name of the queue will show up to the recipient, and names like billing queue or sales may be alarming. Name the queue something like company billing department to be more accurate. AutoConnect survey. You must have first created a survey for this function to work, as well as having business functions set in your IVR. Although it will still connect the caller to a survey without IVR features, it is best to notify the caller that they are being sent to a survey, as well as giving them the option to opt out as a better customer experience. Wrap up timeout after call work. After call work is a system-only status in the call center agent. After call work will only take place after the time expires for wrap-up, and if it's activated from here, queue options. When activating after call work, set a timeout option for both wrap-up and after call work. It is best practice to set the wrap-up time to very minimal, for example, 20 seconds, only allowing the agent enough time to decide whether they need extra time or not, choosing to go available and not affecting reporting numbers for after call work. This will supersede agent and team settings for this queue only. All other queues will follow agent team settings. Enable pre-ringing. Enable pre-ringing is a seldom used feature. Checking this function will allow you to enter a destination number that will ring for the designated time when a call comes into queue. This is not an actual deliverable call, so it should not be answered on the destination device. This is designed to work with a SIP device such as a light or a speaker that will notify users away from desk that there is an incoming call to queue. Enable voicemail transcriptions. Enabling voicemail transcriptions is or can be a two-part process. Once enabled, you will receive another option to enable transcription analysis. Enabling transcriptions will transcribe the voicemail into the email that the agent receives when getting a voicemail. Remember, always click Update at the top of the page when making changes in the admin portal. Email. When you select options on an email queue, you see that the configurable options are far less than that of a voice queue. You can select the time to live, or the amount of time that an email will stay active in the queue, and you may even decide to allow dequeuing for the email queue. Time to live is useful in that it will help clear emails that are not addressed in the queue, like spam or unwanted emails. Dequeuing can be useful if you have a specialty queue designed to monitor aging emails. Outbound Voice. Like the email queue, outbound voice options are also limited. The only option here is to enable after call work. This is exactly like the function in an inbound voice queue. Chat. The details pertaining to a chat queue are far more intricate and will be covered in a different module along with SMS. You should now understand the queue settings that can be changed or viewed in the admin portal. Thank you for watching.
Orchestrating a Brighter World, NEC.